pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Barber?
Here.
Mr. Bruno?
Here.
Mr. Irwin?
Here.
Mr. McDonald, our deputy supervisor. Mr. McDonald is excused tonight. He has the wonderful COVID. And we have Mr. Gwyneth, our zoning officer. We have Chaka, our dog control officer. We have Tyler Jarvis, our deputy highway superintendent. We have Mr. Farrell, our highway superintendent. We have Mrs. Helen Nurska, our historian. Then we have Pamela Barber, our confidential secretary to the board, and we have Matt Favreau, our attorney.
Thank you, Diane.
Not bad for a roll, right? I don't think I missed anybody tonight.
Okay. Number 4, I need a motion on acceptance of the minutes for the special meeting to adopt the budget.
I'll make it. I'll second it.
Mr. Barber, Mr. Bruno, all in favor?
Aye.
And I need a motion for the special meeting to accept the relevy list of November 4th.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Bruno, Mr. Irwin, all in favor?
Aye.
Now I need a motion for a regular meeting on November 6th.
I'll make it. See.
Mr. Barber,
Second.
Mr. Bruno, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 5 is an acceptance of the youth report. We've got it in your
Emails. Oh, we got it in our thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it in my email.
They got a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept it.
I'll second.
Mr. Bruno, Mr. Irwin, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
What's a 3/4 boy look like?
I'm sorry?
Same as the 3/4 girl.
Is that another one of them gender things that I'm not up to date on?
I think it's 3rd and 4th graders.
Oh, I got it.
It's a 5/6 boy.
I guess.
Thank you. Clarifying that.
Did Kristen let anybody know she wasn't coming?
Yes. She did.
What?
Yes,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yep.
Got parent-teacher conferences.
Yep.
Yep.
No.
Thank you, so she.
Yeah, they're excused.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 6, community input.
Yes, we have one, Dorina Falvo, issue with a board member. Dorina?
Thank you. On November 7th, I was working the election polls in Peru, New York, right next door, when I observed a man speaking loudly and in an intimidating manner towards the coordinator. As the deputy coordinator, I went over to assist and was treated in the same manner. I was shocked and appalled to find out he was a member of Peru's town board, Mel Irwin. I do not feel that anyone should talk to another human being in such a manner, but especially a member of our town board to another town employee. That town employee and election coordinator, Judy Akey, is a kind-hearted, generous person who does a lot for this town. Mr. Irwin tried to use intimidation and his position with the town board to sway the rules he disagreed with. I find it incredibly disappointing and shameful that he acted in such a manner.
Thank you.
My response, I'll be brief, it's past history. Number 1, if you found intimidating, that's normally not my style. Number 2, we had a disagreement. I was under the understanding we could be anywhere within a distance, 100 feet, I believe it is, of a polling station. My fault, I did not understand the agreement that was in place with the parking lot at St. Augustine's. But I will correct you that the town does not, the state of New York owns 30 feet from the center of the highway back, and has been done in the past. There's been advertising and trucks and displays and banners put up that are all quite legal on that state of New York right of way. And so that I will hold, but the other I apologize for misunderstanding.
Mr. Douglas, may I address?
Thank you. And I can tell you, Jim and Matt will read it, it's not a real town issue. It's actually, you know, the chairman of the Republican Party So Matt, do you mind me saying that I asked Matt, and Matt said that we shouldn't comment because this was Mr. Irwin's, I mean, yes, he's a councilman, and, you know, he did apologize. I wasn't there, but I'm sorry that this even happened, but.
I guess my concern,
Sure.
as, obviously as involved as I am, is, if it's the church's perception that it's an issue, and they've been nothing but kind to this town and been supportive of the election process, I don't know what this town does for an election polling zone if they decide to pull their support because of actions like this. The complaint that we have tonight is not about the rules of the sign, it's the behavior of an individual who represents this town. And that was brought to the attention of the town supervisor, and it's been over 2 weeks. And as of yet, I understand sometimes HR issues take time, but nothing's been said, no apology has been directed directly towards the people that were involved. And this was more than Miss Akey and my wife that were involved. This was an entire crew of people that was made to feel intimidated and bullied by someone in authority in this town. And it's not appropriate. You're not appropriate in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not expecting you to fix this now. And I don't know what the bylaws of the town says and what the ethics laws of this town say, but as a town member and a member of the zoning board and everything else that my family does to support this town in a positive light, to be treated in this fashion, this woman who has done nothing in this town but good, to be absolutely disgraced in public. There is only one resolution for this that I can see, and that is a true public apology directly to her. And I don't think that anybody in this room disagrees with me.
I won't disagree whatsoever, and I've been waiting to let things just cool off a little bit. More than happy to apologize to Judy. She is a fantastic person. I have nothing but respect for Judy. Again, I reiterate the fact that, maybe my mannerisms acted intimidating. For that, I will apologize, although I didn't feel that way. We had, in talking to Father Scott, he's clarified that, why the situation was the way it is. I get that. But the fact is that I still have, the town, anybody has a right to that public Wakefield down through.
That is not our jurisdiction or our dispute.
Right, but
We're just looking to be good, good tenants of the church who allows us to do that.
I get that, there's tax exemption.
That issue that can be dealt with Board of Elections, you guys, the church, you can figure that out. Our complaint, again, is unfortunately just about the way that it was handled. And honestly, I expect so much more of you. It's just one of those things where you can pull a person aside, have a personal conversation, address the issue, come to an agreement, and let it go. It didn't have to involve a room of 30 people and making this poor woman who stands up to about your stomach made you feel like she came onto your knees, and that's how she felt. And
like I said, I will cover that with Judy. But nowhere in that conversation was my employment here brought into that conversation.
Unfortunately, we wear our employment 24/7 when we work for the town.
Right.
That
But
doesn't.
let's be clear, that nowhere in that conversation did I attempt to call out my
no.
status with this town.
You don't have to. It comes
Right.
with you.
But let's make sure that's known.
Nobody ever said that you said you were a town member.
You did just bring
I
that
did
up.
not know.
Okay.
I did not know that I was being addressed by a town member until my mother, or a board member, until my mother informed me. And that's appalling to me.
In the
It's
end,
just a level up of accountability when you're a town council person. If you were just another town person, I would have been just as upset. But because you represent me in this town, I expect a little bit more. That's all.
the bottom line in this is simple, that I was under the understanding that I needed to be only 100 feet from the polling station, which I was certainly well within that. I did not realize the parameters of church property and the other issues involved. So again, for that, I apologize for misunderstanding,
That's fine.
okay?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Douglas.
Thank you.
Thank you both. You guys don't feel like you have to stay here. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 7, resolution and discussion to amend the employees handbook.
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Bruno,
Second?
Mr. Barber.
A resolution to adopt the change in the town of Peru employee handbook to add an employee classification regarding health insurance eligibility. Whereas the town of Peru has determined that a uniform set of personnel, rules, policies, and requirements for employees and officers is an essential communication tool that promotes consistent and fair practices in the workplace. And whereas the Peru Town Board has decided to update this document to ensure compliance with employment regulations, improve employee communications, and create consistency in policy application, now therefore, be resolved that this clause should be added to section 805 of the employee handbook. Disclosure of insurance benefits. Actively working Medicare eligible employee, a full-time employee that is actively working at least 30 hours per week and is LDHP Medicare eligible, shall be able to enroll in the Medicare plan that is available to non-actively working retirees, provided all eligibility requirements of the insurance plan are met. This plan should be paid at the same percentage rate as standard for higher days, for example, 80/20, 70/30, 60/40. Now therefore be resolved, the town board adopts the town approved employee handbook, revision on November 2nd, 2023, and be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Any comments?
Nope, pretty self-explanatory, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
And Mr. McDonald says
Motion carried.
Mr. McDonald.
Discussion and a motion posting of the 2024 tax notice and hours.
simple. I changed the date because of, yeah, we added a date. It's the same as last year, 9 to 2 Monday nights, and 9 to 2 on Mondays, and then 4 to 6. I'll get a babysitter on the 27th of January to come be with me, and it's the same old, same old.
So you're good 4 to 6 diet? If somebody's else is here?
Yeah, it actually, I chose Monday nights over Tuesday nights. My predecessor had Tuesday nights by appointments, but because we have meetings, it's easier. So one night, Brady usually comes and just stays with me. And Pam, Judy's here till 5. I just can't be by myself for security purposes.
Right.
So somebody is with me till 6 o'clock on that one Monday. And then Brandy usually comes with me that Saturday and just stays with me for the, 3 hours? 2
Sounds
hours.
great, thanks for being so helpful with everyone and giving great times.
So it's easy. So that's our backer.
That's great.
Okay.
Excellent.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, we did the motions.
Is there a motion?
Greg,
Is there a motion there?
I don't believe there's a motion to be made, you're
No.
out.
Okay, it's just a
You're the boss.
discussion.
No.
You're the boss.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we found that out today, didn't we, Jim?
We did.
At the workshop.
By, Matt told us that it would be nice to attend, and I gotta tell you, that very learning.
No motion.
Yeah, very nice.
Good.
Okay, number 9, resolution discussion to approve the purchase and implications of the new Edmunds payroll and HR software due to support ending. And I think, Pam, you want to kind of touch base, you did with me, but I'd like to hear it.
So the current Optimum payroll and HR software with Edmunds, it used to be Logix.
Mhm.
When Edmunds bought it out, they just took over Logix. That is currently end of life in March of 2024. They will not have any support if I have any issues or anything. So the original, we pay $1,900 right now for our payroll and software. It'll be $3,000
Yep.
when we implement it. They do have another module that goes towards people, the employees can check their pay stubs and But that's another $12.50, and to be honest, I don't think people would really use it that much.
What's a pay stub?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so implementation and switching everything over, and the first year of the subscription would be a total of $9,000, but that's only a one-time fee, then it becomes $3,000.
Do we have a line for that in our budget? We okay with it?
It's part of our software.
Okay,
Um,
sounds good to me.
It also, currently, we're not compatible with New York State retirement for the gold certification, which I have to get. The Optimum is not compatible with that at all, but the MCSJ, I think it's called, will be compatible with that. So we're kind of in a no-win situation. We have to take it.
Yep.
I did do a webinar with the overview of it, and it's very easy to, it looks like it's actually easier than the logics that we have now. So,
Good.
could
Your
we-
job will be easier.
Huh?
Your job will be easier.
Hopefully, but it usually isn't.
It's nice when a company takes over and just switches everything, eh?
Well, I mean, they waited, you know, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
been
mean-
a couple of years now, I think.
I'm sure they paid a few bucks for it.
But,
All sounds good,
Change
reasonable.
the billing though? Is it
No,
getting rid of
it's only-
logics and legal?
it's only payroll and HR. So hopefully, we can pay for part of it with this year, if we have money left over,
Yep.
and pay for the balance of it next year with the new budget.
Sure.
So
Sounds great.
That'll be $3,000 a year from now on.
after that, yeah, after the implementation and the software services contract subscription and conversion.
Everybody in favor?
Yep, I'll make a motion.
You want-
Wait, are we good?
Yeah, please.
Okay. A resolution approving a contract between the town of Peru and Edmunds GovTech Inc. and authorizing the supervisor to execute the same, whereas the town board members have the contract between Edmunds GovTech Inc. and the town of Peru before them, whereas the town of Peru's logistics, payroll, and HR software will no longer be supported after March 2024. Said proposed contract is for software services, subscription at $3,000, professional services implementation at $2,500, and conversion services at $4,400, as one-time charges, then thereafter yearly subscription price of $3,000. Be approved and resolved, the supervisor being hereby is authorized to execute said contract. Therefore be resolved, this resolution shall take effect immediately.
And I have Rick for the motion, and who seconded it?
Bruno.
Thank you.
Bruno.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes. And that support we were getting there from the last few years was terrible, wasn't it, Pam? I mean, when you
No.
tried to call, no?
No. Our support with Logix, Edmunds and Logix,
That's
I'm
good.
very disappointed that I won't have the person that I
You're not
have.
gonna have
Okay.
Mark?
I won't have Margaret.
Oh.
Maybe, probably after it's all implemented, I will, but not, he's gonna be continuing the Logix until March 2024. But no, we've pretty much always had good,
Good.
services with KDS when we had
Yeah, it was-
Logix.
I wasn't sure of how the support was. It was
No.
good.
Yeah, no, it's been good support.
Okay. We're down to other business. What do you want to start with? Mike, you're usually I'm gonna skip around here. I'll get rid of that.
Adam Archer's 1 year probation was up on November 8th. He's been a heck of an employee, good fine, comes from Saranac. So he's off, he's a vested employee now, so. That's where we're at. The maintenance issues on the vehicles, nightmare continues. 624, the water and sewer, we're using to sludge and move some dirt around, nothing they did wrong. It's just the years of being in salt sand, and come to find out with pushing the shoulder machine. When we put shoulders on, pushing up hills, it puts a lot of stress. One of the cylinders, left cylinder snapped. So that had to go, nobody does it. We had to send it down to United Ag and Turf in Latham, because they can only work on the smaller stuff here in Beatontown. So I was down there, I had him look at the other one, which is weak. So the other one, the cylinder wasn't broke, but it was $3,000 to replace it, but leave the shaft inside, and take the chance that we get it back here and it stays together, and it's, we're not gonna do that, because we gotta truck it down and back it back, it's $5,000 to switch it out, so then it was due for a 4,000 hour service, so it's gonna be a 15 grand bill, or 14 somewhere in there. Like I said, I can't wait till January comes. It's gotta be a better 24.
Well,
Trying to think, we made 6,000 gallons of brine today, so we're pretty well, a little bit, a few hours in the morning. The tanks will be all filled back up. We did pre-treat the last storm, of course it was not a big storm, but it certainly helped.
is there a way of making moonshine instead of brine, maybe to make some money for us?
So,
At the workshop, they were talking about pickle juice. In New Jersey, they use pickle juice.
I did have, I got an email from the state committee, Governor Hochul has vetoed classifying every stream as C stream, because it puts a lot more Army Corps and all that permitting stuff for any stream. So for once, we will agree with her on that one. That was a good one to veto.
Good.
I don't think, today was our last 10-hour day. We start 5 days a week tomorrow. We normally have to switch by now, but because one of the new employees, when he came from DOT, already had a cruise all paid for. I knew that when I interviewed him, so we extended it. And the deal was if it started snowing every day, regardless, we were going to switch back. So he's back, so we're still going to be a little short-handed just the next few weeks. People got to use their time up or lose it. So other than that, everything else is going good. So.
Sounds good, Mike, man, good job.
Good job.
Thanks for helping your employee out like that.
Mike, are the cameras on, Mike?
No, that was the other thing. I knew there was one more. They got turned on last week. They've been working for a week with Bessie in Canada when we got them from, and he's the one actually invented them. He can't get a signal, so he redid everything. So Adam called him today. Adam's kind of taking the lead on the cameras. We still do not have the actual permission for NICE to put on the pole, so I don't know if we're ever going to get it, even though we got a written agreement. They'll come to find out, he had us check the voltage, and they're saying on my screen that they're charged, but had Tyler and Adam pull them apart and test them, and they're actually the batteries, because they've been sitting so long waiting for NICE that are bad, so we got to replace 6 batteries. Then we'll have to do the 10-hour charge again, and then they're going on a pole. So, good. So that's where we are with that. So hopefully by next week they'll be up one way or another.
Need them tomorrow?
If as long as I get the batteries, that's the next thing.
Thank you, Mike. Is that it?
Yep.
Courtney?
Couple things. First, the comp time for being on call, I'd like to get that figured out. If we are going to do that before January,
Yes,
that we talked about the budget stuff.
yes.
Or are we going to keep that moving?
Well, can you refresh my memory on the hours that you guys were looking for? Is 4 hours?
I threw out 4 hours of comp time, no pay, for the individual to be on call for the week.
For the whole week, 4 hours. Okay.
And that's staying.
It's not 4 hours daily, it's just 4 hours for that.
4 hours for the whole week. And it would be comp time. They won't get paid for it. They don't have the option, they won't have the option to get paid for it.
Okay.
And that's just to cover to carry the on-call phone.
Yep.
Which they have to carry it from off shift the next morning.
And what happens
Obviously,
if what happens if it goes off? They go to work?
Not necessarily. It depends what it goes off for. If it's a.
Something you can do on the computer?
If it's the water plant, a lot of the times they have to log in and they can fix a lot of stuff on the phone. If it's a mechanical issue, then they would have to come in, but then that turns into they get their on-call overtime for coming in.
Plus the 4 hours, regardless, is that how it works?
The 4 hours is a weekly,
Depending
That's a given.
yeah, I mean, some places do it a certain amount per hour, and then if they get called in, but that, I think, turns into a nightmare.
Yeah, I can see how it would
The
be.
person gets called in, you gotta deduct the whatever cents.
What,
Now you got 5 employees?
Yes.
does it rotate evenly?
Yeah, every week we can switch out. So it's usually it's about one person's on a month. Because there's 5 that rotate. It ends up being like, some weeks are different, sometimes you have a holiday, but just a standard week, it ends up being like 80-something cents an hour. If you broke it down, depending on the day. That's an average pay.
How you guys feel about the 4? You like 3 better?
Well, you want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
I know Brandy had texted me, and Brandy, he's not here. He is for it, but he just had said that, you know, what the rest of the board said, what thought, but he said he would rather go with less hours, maybe 3, because once you put that in there, I mean, you know, you're locked and loaded. Not that we're trying to, you know, 3 hours or whatever.
3 works to 12 hours a week?
Well, if you go 4 hours a week, 12 months out of the year, you're looking at 48 hours. Divide that by 8 hours of vacation time to use per day. So that's 6 days, that's a week's vacation. Per employee, that's a lot.
Yep. It's a lot when you look at it that way.
Any idea, any consistency to how many calls a year?
I've never tried that, it switches.
Just wondering if you had some.
Some nights you can get 3 calls a night on a water plant, other weeks you might not get anything.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just water plant, if you get called in for people have a sewer issue, water break, dig safe, emergency dig safe tickets, if somebody puts an emergency in for a locate, you have to answer that call.
Right, but once you answer it, you're on your clock, right? You're
Not
on,
necessarily.
not necessarily? Oh, wow.
Well, if it's not our problem, so if it's an emergency locate ticket, they could call, that ticket could be for Lake Road. We don't have any water and sewer out there. You still have to respond to clear the ticket with them, but you don't have to come in and actually do a locate, you know?
Okay.
So it all depends, the emergency dig safe covers the whole town.
Mhm.
But obviously, we're only responsible for it when we have water and sewer lines. And again, though, if it's most of the time, if it's a sewer plant calling, you have to come into work. Because a lot of times it's something tripped out, and that doesn't have a SCADA system, so you can't reset anything.
So you're talking 4 hours of comp time per day that you're on call, or for the week?
No,
For the week.
for the week.
So as somebody that's on call every other week for after-hour arrangements, if you've never been like on call for something like this, it's a big disruption to your life. Like you can't,
Absolutely.
you can't leave the area, you can't really make plans, you can't have a couple drinks after work because you might have to drive. So you've got a week where you're home to work and running errands. So to get 4 hours of vacation time, I don't think that's a huge ask at all. Being on call it's a pain. You're thinking about it all the time. You know, 2 in the morning is the phone gonna ring? What's a disruption there? Even if you don't get up and do something, you're kind of always on. And for that week, I'm going on 3 years doing it. That's a lot.
I get that, Matt, but you've got 5 employees, we're getting an extra week of vacation, 6 days.
Well, what's the alternative is what is paying to be on call? Like, the town's getting a huge, if they say, no, we don't want to be on call, what are you gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
what's gonna
I used to
happen?
get 2 hours if I showed up and 4 hours if I turned a wrench, you know?
Mhm.
But,
And that's
yeah,
the
I
thing, you
agree
might-
with Matt, it is disruptive to your life if you're on call, you got that pager.
I get it.
And I'm not looking for an answer tonight. I mean,
I think we should, I'd
People want
like
to
to
think
make a
about it.
motion to table it and talk about this. and-
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you,
There's different ways to do it, but it's not, being on call is.
I agree with you.
I agree, the guys that are doing that, they deserve something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think 6 days of vacation time's a lot.
Looking at it that way, that is a lot. I agree with that assessment.
And I like the proposal from the beginning, that you're not talking money payment.
Yeah.
That you will.
Yeah.
Right now.
On that.
Yeah, no.
It isn't money, but it
You know,
is.
everybody recognizes the budget's not the greatest for our department.
Yeah,
Right.
You know.
I mean, I'm thinking somewhere between two, you know, 2 to 4, but
Mhm.
closer to the 2.
I'm there.
Yeah. then we could.
Probably work that out. Yep, I think.
I mean, we are gonna do something.
Yep.
You can always start it at lower and then adjust it, depending, try it for a year, adjust and see how everybody feels about it too.
Yeah.
I think just knowing you're getting something for it is kind of really what you're looking for.
Well, I'm with you. I don't wanna be woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning for 15 minutes and go. have to
Well, and
take
it's,
care of a
and
phone
some,
call.
and like I said, there's weeks you don't get any calls, I mean, I'll be honest, there are weeks you don't get any calls, but there are times too.
Nobody has a schedule like you.
There are times too, though, when you
Nobody
make,
wants a schedule like it.
when you make a chemical adjustment,
Yeah.
it's not just answering that phone call once. You have to get up, you have to log in on the app, you
Yeah.
have to toggle between 2 different apps because
Yeah.
of the security.
All your guys do this.
They're going to be. Right now, I'm fielding most of it,
Okay,
and I'm
so
getting to the point,
you-
I'm not gonna be
So you, Chad,
So you don't get nothing.
Matt,
Matt, Dan,
Luke?
no, not Luke.
not Luke,
Luke's, Luke's not a maintenance worker.
Chris,
Yes,
who am I missing?
that's it.
Okay.
So if you make a chemical adjustment, you can't just plan on going to bed for the rest of the night.
Right,
Eventually, you gotta log back in.
and watch what's
Watch.
going on.
All right. I think
And
we
before,
definitely do
this
something.
used to be the operator used to go up to the water plant and our overtime hours were
Right.
I mean,
pretty much through the roof.
we are definitely gonna do some. I think that
Yeah.
we should sit down and put a cost back.
And I really appreciate the comp time.
Like Matt said, it is a pain in the butt to be on call. I
Yeah.
mean, it takes away from your,
Give us the next board meeting and we'll have some numbers.
Yeah,
We'll-
because, you know, and.
We'll do a little
because-
brainstorming together,
Because then I can see Courtney's been doing it
except for,
all the time, right, Courtney? You're the one that on call. The other
I
guys.
mean, no, my guys, let me rephrase that. We all rotate the on-call phone, but right now, the phone dialers, my number's first, my work phone. So a lot of times I bail them out, I acknowledge it, and then I adjust it.
You
Or
got call
Chad,
ID, right?
or a lot of times Chad will, it goes to him next, I think. He's the one that works there all the day, so he has the best handle on it.
Right.
But, you know, I pull, my guys, Dan's more up to speed now, everybody's licensed.
Yep.
You know, it was getting them up to speed to handle some of these trouble alarms.
Yep.
okay,
So they've been told, you know, first of the year, it's all, the numbers are getting changed.
And we've got time to come up with something and tell them. you
But
know.
as of right now, they handle all the other on-call stuff. Or if I ignore it, it goes to them.
You guys good with that?
yeah.
Or discussion?
We'll brainstorm it, have something for you, hopefully by the next meeting.
The other thing I had is the tree lighting.
Yes,
That's a couple weeks away.
1st of December.
Look at me, man, I'm here behind Cam.
So,
What do you need?
What's
just, to-
on?
Oh, I don't know, that's Brandy and Pam.
I say we're, you know, we're gonna have one, I think that we
Great,
should.
Yeah, we need a date and time.
It's
I
12.
thought Brandy gave you a date in that text message the other day, no?
I
It's
thought it
always
was,
the first Friday of the
Generally.
year.
I thought it was December 1.
But nothing's been official.
Nothing's been discussed, and I'm glad that he mentioned it, because we could have just slipped under the rug, you know? Like his December 1, usually about at the time you get it set up, Courtney?
It's a week
Yeah,
from
maybe we
Friday.
can have it set up.
That's the first Friday,
Yeah,
December 1st.
yeah.
There we go.
And, I mean, we'll
6
have
o'clock?
to decide, do we purchase it like we always did, or put
Yes.
that option out there first?
Oh, I thought
6 or
Brandy,
7,
Brandy said to go buy one at Koval's, didn't
What's
he
6
did,
Yeah,
he did.
I'm not worried, I'll take care of the tree and
Okay.
stuff, but I just want, I need to
Yeah.
know a date when we have to have it
Yeah, yeah.
decorated
I
by.
make a motion to make the tree lighting for December 1st
Mr. Brewer.
Second,
Mr.
at
Vargas.
dusk.
Mr. Yep.
at 6 or 7,
6.
what's good for everybody?
6 has gotta be better because people
Well,
go
dinner
to bed
time
at
or
7
after?
around here.
Dinner time or
It
after?
doesn't take very long.
No, it doesn't.
it?
No.
What time do we always?
Well, that
do it?
depends, I mean, are we gonna get a Santa, somebody's gotta talk to the fire department?
Ducks
I
are
can,
right
I
down
can,
usually.
Got it, Sam.
I'm happy to email the fire
You know,
department.
tree lighting committee?
Matt volunteered to be Santa, I heard.
I'm happy to email the
Working on it.
fire department for me.
Used to have carols and
See
everything.
if we can go by the
That was
1st
a nice thing years
December.
ago.
Because
Christmas
there was
carols.
discussion earlier
Got a big crowd. I had questions.
last year
about
on
one person.
Fluke,
Well, I know they
Used
called
to
Brandy tonight.
bring the kids
for
around
her
all-
to ask me. That's why we need to.
Okay, so we're gonna go December
I don't know if
1st
somebody's
at
gonna try to find a thing out.
six.
Say six.
We usually go at 6. I mean, it gets dark at 4:30.
Don't we usually go at 6?
yes.
Yeah, 'cause then, you know, I mean, it's a school, well,
Yeah,
it's
they
not
have
a
the
school,
little kids out and stuff.
You know, the little kids get out at 7
Kids to
o'clock.
run.
And
Right
then,
where it was.
then last
Might have been
year,
occasional,
we were,
after 5 brass was playing.
the
That
Girl
was
Scouts and the
fabulous.
Daisies arrived.
It's a
because
nice
they
thing.
weren't allowed
They
to
gotta put a
go.
little more thought into it.
They were going into a nursing home or whatever, and
I agree.
they couldn't go. And they loved doing that, so if anybody would like, I would be happy to reach out to Kristen, the Girl Scout leader.
Love you, thank
I
you.
like that.
What
And
about
then the other,
Santa and Mrs. Claus?
no, we haven't done that in quite, how many
There's a
years
lot of
since before
disappointed
COVID?
people last year because there wasn't a Santa.
I know, we don't have the fellowship center
We
anymore
got a
either.
Mrs. Claus.
The issue would
Oh,
be,
Gropo.
the issue would be, guys, is I don't believe you can use the fellowship
You
center.
can't,
Uh,
you have to pay.
What do you need to use it for?
For
That's
implement
where the
weather.
Senate, yeah. Boy, you weren't there the last few years. The
Never
Senate
been
Club.
to it.
That's why you don't get it for Christmas.
I'm a camp guy until hunt season's
But
over.
anyways, we used to have a Senate.
Can you sit up outside?
Just
Depends
a-
on, it's tricky, Bruno, my opinion is if the weather's bad,
Yeah.
it's, you know,
It's been held at 6:45 in the past. I just looked it up here.
I'm sorry?
6:45 is when it was in 18 and 17 and 18.
Yeah, and then more up to date, like 2021.
You gotta cancel a lot.
Yeah, couple
Right.
years.
Under COVID, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have any recommendations for Santa?
not off the top of my head, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, and then last year, because we don't do Judy always they used to do the hot cocoa and the donuts and all that at the community center with
Yeah.
Santa and Mrs. Santa. And so that went by the wayside since COVID. There was several things there was little gifts, remember Jim, last year? And the kids just loved it, so I said to Judy, do we have any of that left over? Because all the Girl Scouts handed it out. I mean, I think we were all handing it out.
yeah.
And so I said, we need to get these goodies if we don't have, is there any money left in the celebration expense? I guess is
Yeah, we'll
the
make
one
some.
thing, the one thing that I asked. And, we need to get something ordered if this is all coming out.
Do you want to be the head of the committee? I nominate you.
Yeah, you're such a doll. I make,
What? You
less
got lots of
is more.
control right here.
Less is more, well, it's because Randy said, Diane, when we were all trying to get organized in our lives. Because everybody's getting busy, I mean, everybody's
Yeah.
busy anyways,
Yeah.
but because of the holiday. I just remember last year, but also too, gentlemen, we've gotta have someone light the tree.
Well, we'll think about, yeah.
Well,
I
there's
mean,
not a
think
lot
about
of thinking
some-
about it, it's a week from Friday.
Yeah, but it won't take us that long,
No, we'll brainstorm that with the
and
hours.
then we'll get back to you guys.
You gotta publicize it though.
We used different.
Needs publicity
I
too.
think Rick would be a good guy to like Tracy, now he's leaving the area and never coming back. Not leaving. What? Then why aren't you running?
All right, we'll discuss that.
No.
We don't
He's
need a
looking
committee
at that,
for the
he's
tree,
hungry, boy.
Courtney's gonna take care of the tree, right?
Yeah.
We'll have the music,
Tree.
Luke,
I mean, the tree will be there. I mean,
and Luke always does the music for Chris,
Chris,
right?
no,
Who
Chris,
does it?
Chris.
Who does the microphone?
We get it from we bring it over, but
who hooks
they
it up
always, they
though?
always had a DJ or somebody had music.
Oh, it was Don Holt.
No, we
No,
had
we don't
music
have
last
years.
year.
Last year was Chris Martin. I think.
Yeah, we've always,
Yes, it was Chris.
yeah, it
That's
was.
music.
Chris was there to make sure the lights were on,
Right.
that brings the
Yeah.
PA.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything with music.
That's music.
Well,
We don't have anything with music.
Last year.
Somebody brought,
Well, I don't know about the music, Courtney, I was
Yeah,
thinking of
usually
the
we bring
bombs
the
and
band,
like,
the
and the
kid.
lights.
oh, I know where it came from, the youth committee.
You came up your age.
Yeah, the bomb, the PA,
Yeah,
but somebody's gotta have the song stuff.
maybe
Play
we'll
on.
talk to Chris,
Yeah, we'll
see
find
if
it.
maybe she could
Is it a
get some of
CD?
the kids and, all right.
No, it's just a PA.
Okay.
Hey, hey.
Oh, just a PA, you play some music. Oh, I put that, take that right off your phone.
I didn't see what they did.
Alexa, play Christmas music.
I'll talk to Kristen tomorrow.
Hey, Nora,
Not
Christmas
Kristen
music.
Marino, Kristen the Girl Scout.
My phone can be there.
All right.
Sounds good. Thanks, Diane, for taking over the committee, man.
No, there's no committee, I'm not taking it over.
Brandy's
I'll
home there.
do
You can
whatever
get
I can
on
do
the
to help.
text and that, okay, guys?
I'll do what I can do to help.
We're good. Everything you do helps. Thank you.
But-
Only one more thing, with the Helen, one of the historical markers got hit down on Route 9 and busted.
Ah,
I assume we wanna replace it.
We do.
From my uncle's house.
must have wrecked somebody's car. These things are pretty big, eh?
I can't even.
Or was it a post?
It's on a post.
Oh,
Yeah,
wasn't
it's just on-
wasn't one of the big
It's
markers?
a cast
Oh,
aluminum.
What do you think we have to do to replace it? Like, is the marker itself in good shape?
Something that could be welded.
It's cast aluminum.
It's cast.
Yeah. Dick Arnold can do wonders.
Like, who does that?
We can bring it and see.
Cast is high frequency.
Right, I don't know if they got it to any of the letters.
It's like a depends how much damage
Yeah.
there is.
Whatever.
It needs to be painted too, so I don't know if it's, it might be worth just, I don't know how much it is, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have some money in my budget.
Yeah,
That's all we need to hear.
I don't know where Ron got them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
maybe
always
five.
order 'em.
I mean, you know, for me
We can look up
personally,
around,
Helen just raised her hand.
Sure where, yeah.
She said she's got money in her budget, but if that was it, I
think
feel
so,
like
right?
maybe we should
Cam, I have money in
absorb
my
that
budget.
instead of her.
Yeah.
You know, just to paint them, just to paint them, you're looking at
That's
$700-800, and it doesn't need to be painted, so.
How much?
We'll get it $700-800 just to paint, have them painted, and it needs to be painted, so by the time you pay to have it
So you
welded.
have money out left over from this year?
Cory, do you
That's
really
a-
know who hit it? Was there a ticket or anything
I
done
don't
with that?
know.
Because if it was, I mean, the motorist has got insurance, that should replace that sign.
Yeah.
Bob Bags. I thought it could have been Bill Bags, but my uncle was quite adamant it was Bob Bags from,
Yeah, Sullivan, Jake Zone,
yeah, from
Jabez Allen.
Jabez Allen Road, yes. And he swerved to miss two coyotes on the morning that it was icy.
We don't have to replace coyotes.
And he went through the ditch, over the culvert, in the ditch, and right up the hill and hit the sign.
unbelievable.
Well, we-
Does
that
He
insurance
said
coverage.
ditch.
This ditch is
Ditch,
probably.
it was a ditch.
He hurt his car, Liz.
He did.
No, why isn't he paying?
suffered
for it?
enough.
Like his
His
insurance
insurance.
should cover that.
Yeah.
So you get a telephone.
That's
call.
property
I don't know,
damage.
I just, Ron Allen called me and told me he had it at his house, that it was broken.
I think
Somehow he got it.
somebody from the town board should get in touch with the motorist and say, here's a claim, well, let us know your insurance
I
information.
nominate Mel.
I got,
Scott,
I think,
Scott today.
I think we'll do Brandy.
There you go, nominate Brandy to do
I
that.
nominate Brandy to do
Nominate
it.
Brandy.
There you go.
You got the name,
He's the
Somebody let him know.
supervisor.
you got the
Somebody
name
let
and the
us know
address.
you got the name.
I got all that.
Could you get it to Brandy?
Yep,
Thank
I
you.
will.
Thank you, Brandy.
So there was no tickets, no cops showed up?
According to my uncle, troopers came, they got some statements, but no,
They should have had.
no,
Be able to check,
I don't believe there's any tickets.
you can check with the court too and see if tickets were issued, they don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there should have been something for property damage.
You know, they go after the coyotes, and they never respond.
Yeah,
I'll take care of that part.
Okay,
okay?
you got
I
that
want to
settled?
pitch in a little bit.
Everybody knows it, and so we can get that. Alan, do you understand where these guys are going now?
If it's not insured, can you try to locate from Ron where he bought the
I
house?
will.
Excellent.
Okay, and then we'll have Brandy get a hold of whoever, because,
This is a taking
Do you
job.
have the sign?
okay.
We don't have the base of it. The base
So
of it.
Alan will take care of it, and you're gonna pay for it out of your budget.
But
Seems
It's
so.
weldable.
And
I mean, might as well, right?
you got some money left from this year, you said.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how much he spends.
I don't know if she got that
I
much
spend
money.
it, she
I think they're $4,000 a piece.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we go with Matt's plan.
Welded.
The motors need to replace.
Yeah, if we
I'll
can
go
weld
with
it,
Matt's
bring the
plan
bid to see if we
to
can.
get a hold of.
Do you have the
Mr.
sign?
Mack.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
We can search.
See if
You
Dick
know,
can
too, it
weld.
might be cheaper, you could check with Mr. Kashak, I mean, it's not gonna be cast aluminum, but, I mean, that's what he does, is make signs. they cost that much.
That's true.
Yeah, but they have to get,
Yeah, I don't care what kind of post.
I mean,
Whatever's gonna go up there with a metal
it
detector.
has to be
say,
a specific
"Gas."
style.
Whatever the motorist wants
Some of
to
the
do,
blue
it's his choice.
Is that one of the blue ones you're
Well,
Yes.
I think that's gotta be that style, basically.
There's something about the historical end of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody happy with that?
Yeah, we're working on it, Jim.
Yep.
Thank you.
Rather than flat post.
Courtney,
That's it.
now. Helen,
Yeah, we put in two, they're called pre-proposals for grants. One for, with the Lake Champlain Basin Program, and the pre-proposals were both accepted. One is to finish up the windows at the Hayworth Building, and the other is for a relatively large mural to go to the history of Peru, and on the side of the hardware store.
Nice.
And so the next step is to put in a full request for grant money. And so I need to work with somebody about this. We realize, I talked with Bob, we realized we'll probably need some kind of variance to do this. So there's things that we need to do to make sure that we really want to go through with this. There's a third grant that, this is all with Greg Badger. There's a third grant that he's working on with the New York City Arts Council. And this would be for a second mural, so a smaller one. All these are working with students through the school, the middle school and the high school. The school has already given us a letter of support for this project, for the projects, so that's the good news. But I need to work with the town because the match that the town would give, these grants like a match to show that you're, on top of this. And also letters of support, but a match, and the match would be helping to install these murals because the mural will not be right on the brick. It will be a, like putting a picture on a wall kind of
A
thing.
series of aluminum panels.
I'm sorry?
Aluminum panels.
Yes, right,
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah. And he's doing the bigger one. It's gonna be kind of fun because the kids are gonna be able to do these panels in pieces and then he'll put it on the big screen and then they'll put it up.
So you have permission from the owners of the building?
We would, definitely, we have, he's approached them. One of the owners asked to have a mural on the side of their building.
Who's the new owners up there? I don't even know who they
We're
are.
not sure yet
Schumann.
whether Doug assigned it over or still Doug's name.
But yes, and initially he had approval from the hardware store, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have to have their letter to get.
I don't understand where it's going on the hardware store.
It's
gonna be in the back towards taking drugs?
Right where you turn the corner.
As you drive in.
You know where the parking lot is there? You know where you stop there, you come
Right
down
on
to
the corner.
Pleasant
Oh,
Street?
Brew Hardware store.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of Obashan. No, I was like, where the hell you putting a sign up there? Nobody's gonna see it. I got you, thank you.
I gave Greg the information this afternoon.
Oh,
The
no.
second mural,
No,
we're
he's
thinking
still about-
side of Grand Union now.
And-
The second mural, we're thinking possibly the side of Grand Union.
Yeah, the Grand Union, and I think
Yeah,
the
they were
dentist,
sold out.
near Stewart's, they
Yeah.
might want one, so, but it's not done without money, so.
So will you have any idea what the matching grant money price would be?
No, the match would be volunteer hours, mine for example, or anybody that's, anybody that's involved, they consider a match. There's no required match for any of these grants,
I got you.
but I would not want to budget installing it. I would like the town to install it as a match. I think maybe that's something we can do.
Probably
So
is.
it's in
We got some pretty talented people around here.
I think so.
Rick's gone yet, can you get it done before January?
The same group with the,
Courtney puts his head down.
It's got to be volunteers.
I painted the
You
bridge,
got a lot of
I
talk.
painted the whole bridge one night.
we know how long it's been
I
since he's been
painted
to
the
Peru.
bridge one time.
And there's one more thing, the large mural would
Crawled
be,
up in the rafters and painted.
I think we should do a nice tile mural on it.
the
Sorry.
large mural would be Peru history, different parts of Peru history. The shrine, the Quaker Union, the Aborigines population, these things that are part of our town. And the other one would be, we're looking at apples and cows, apple trees and so to
Cool.
cover,
Beautiful.
apples and dairy, so.
Now that I think about it, we got a new councilman that's in the construction business, Carter.
I was gonna
He's got-
introduce him
He's
after.
got lifts and everything, man. He's got all kinds of
Oh,
equipment.
You
just
mentioned
one
that.
last thing. The grant that we would like to put in for to finish up the Hayward building. If in the meantime, people buy, chip in, that grant, you just reduce the grant, so we just want to finish the building. So that's what the point of that grant is.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I got a lot of compliments on it.
And we've allocated, I think it's 30,000 in the budget to get work underway in the bathrooms.
Yep.
Yeah. If we get the grant.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought we weren't applying for that grant.
Now, you talked to Badger about putting my grandfather up there?
We're thinking if we can get it
I
done
don't
and
think we
secured
are.
inside,
Because there was
if
too many
you want the
restrictions.
original or a
Yeah.
copy of
But
it.
that looked nice.
Now, we figure it's more safe inside than it is outside. Where the receiving area is outside the bathroom,
Yeah.
it'll all be heated, protected, and then,
Oh, I was talking about the mural that's going up in the windows.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, at this point, Greg, the artists are a little different, but
Okay.
Greg's thinking inside with that. So, we just talked yesterday, I haven't had a chance to get back to you.
Okay. It's too spectacular to put outside in the weather.
Well, it was my understanding we weren't applying for that grant.
Yeah, we skipped over one
There
grant.
was too many stipulations.
Yeah. Too many hinges.
Yeah.
Still should look at getting the engineering done,
I didn't know that.
because if we're,
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really restricting us to lots of money,
well, we couldn't do any of the work ourselves.
right?
Right.
Yeah, but that was it, we couldn't do the work ourselves, right?
Which really, we still can't until we have a plan.
Right.
It'd be nice to have it engineered and drawn, and, we can saw cut floors and
much
put
work,
sewer lines and
so little
stuff, but we
time.
don't know where they're going.
Yeah, gotta have a plan to start with.
Right.
Peter Gibbs
And we've got
volunteered is going to.
There we go.
He did a quick sketch up that we would have needed to apply for the grant.
Yeah, for the grant.
In the end, we got advised not to apply for the grant because there was so much stipulations to it.
But we need, facts and numbers in order to proceed with anything.
Okay, my only question is, in just me, it seems like we're looking at about 4 projects that I would like to do 3. Either way, let's do 1 and get it done, and then, we start 3 and then where do we go?
The only one that's really dedicated to the town and we've got money in the budget is the bathrooms.
The timing for those, there's one, the one that we haven't really applied for yet, is really would start this spring.
Okay.
But the other 2 don't kick in until October 2025.
Oh, okay, all right, that's fine.
October 2024 through October 2025. So it's not like they're on top of each other.
Yeah.
Okay, now we move on, we're doing, try to help. What she
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
she's looking.
Anytime you need,
Well,
yeah.
okay.
And I'll be through the get something done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have
You
you
kind
been
of
out,
muffled that.
Tom?
You might want to speak a little louder. I don't think the microphone caught that part about you were helping.
Oh,
You don't even know where the hardware store is. Holy moly. I'm sorry.
You can tell.
You should eat more
They
blueberries.
told me I don't do the dishes at camp too. Can you believe that? They
Yeah.
made me do the dishes Sunday.
You better eat more
First
of the
time,
blueberries.
first time in 20 years.
I say that's good for your brain, right? Alan?
That's it.
Okay. Tyler?
Just go along with Mike talking about breakdowns, our first, I guess you could call it a winter event. 7 years I've been here, this is probably one of the easiest ones. We had a chain break, so that was fixed the next day, and then little valve on the bottom of the brine truck went, and unfortunately without that little valve, you can't drive that truck, so we had to get that fixed. The guys got right on it the next day, so all that stuff's up and fixed. Just to go along with the brine and our success, we had some visitors this past week. Clinton County Airport, but it's on the airport side, not Clinton County, like the highway department. So they came down. As everybody knows, I'm the spokesman on Facebook about our brine operation, so I stood back and let the guys tell the airport what we do. And they have a couple different things that they have to do because of the airplanes, but they wanted to see our process. So the guys I let them free, and they learned a lot from us. We learned a little bit from them, what they come up with. So they invited Mike and I to go look at their setup. When they get it, theirs is a little bit different, but we can always learn from somebody else, obviously.
Do they treat the runway the same way we treat the road?
No, what
Well,
they
yeah, a
use
little
is
more money.
2,600
Yeah.
hours a ton.
Oh, wow. How much?
That little storm that they had last week was $100,000
Oh,
They have to use a different product because of
because
the
it owns
erosion.
the airplane.
okay.
But they wanted to see what we were using, if they could implement. Like, they can use the same applicator we use, they just got a different brand. Their maker's a little more in-depth than ours is. But, we bouncing ideas off of other people, that's the first time I've had somebody locally in Clinton County come to us, so obviously word's getting out there, so. And just another thing, like, as I say, I'm the spokesman on Facebook for our brine stuff, so, but we encourage people to stop by the shop if they have questions and they want to see what we're doing. It seems like a lot of people know more about it than we do, and we're the ones doing it. So,
It's always that way.
There's been some negative press there.
so we encourage people to come look at what we're doing. We have a little science project going on in the shop, as I've said before. I'm getting ready to actually open it up. But I showed Bob earlier, and I think I saw his eyeballs kind of glow right up. That wasn't what he was expecting to see out of my little science experiment. So, but guys they're pushing it. They're trying to tell people what we see, our story. So,
Cool. Very good.
that's about it.
Good, thank you. Chuck?
Nothing too major, usual stuff. I had to go on a search with some troopers the other day, but then everybody stopped working, so didn't go anywhere. And then I get a lot of people complaining that other people are abusing their dogs, but unfortunately that is the jurisdiction of like troopers and the sheriff. But whenever they call the sheriff, they always send them to me, so it becomes this little runaround thing. I usually go look and check, but I can't really see too many signs of neglect. But if it gets ugly, the cops have to come, basically. So just stuff like that. But other than that, things are good.
Thank you. Good, and losing any sleep or anything, right? You're doing okay health-wise?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds important too. Hey, Mike.
Good, thank you.
Good? I mean, nothing?
Craig? Ready?
No, I'm good. You covered everything I was gonna talk about, really.
No, but you hadn't yet, I'm waiting for Bob.
That sounds good, thank you.
Oh, you are, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
sign.
okay. Pam?
Yep.
Save the best for last. And I think everybody knows the gentleman sat next to Pam is our new councilman, Eric. Welcome.
Thank you.
You see the fun you're gonna have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Must be senior councilman because he beat me in votes too, man.
Right at the bottom. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Bruno.
I'm good. I covered everything I wanted to. Thank you.
A few more paintings up on Hayworth Mason, had some time for the lift up, got some more work done there. Tractor parade is December 9th, starting at 6 o'clock.
Great,
Mrs. Remillard has agreed to be the Grand Marshal this year.
nice.
It's,
The 9th?
one of the Remellards asked what that entailed, and there's no crown or royalty involved. It's just sits around the parade, so don't get your hopes up.
9th at what time, huh?
Starts at 6. Same route as last year. Hopefully don't get pressurized to change it. We'll see.
Nice.
So, Brady, you have to call the sheriffs last year and stuff like that?
I'd call him.
You take care of that? Okay. Because I could have nominated him tonight if you want.
That's it for me.
That's good stuff, I like that, Brady.
I'm good. You're good. Diane?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
I'm good. I want to say that we did go to that meeting, thanks to Matt, and that was very informative, and I would tell anybody to go and meet like these two girls, that's the lawyers for us, for the associations in town. We met a young girl with the comptroller's office who was very, I thought she would, she said now she's on the good team. She was the one like came around and, did the towns, and now she's on the other side, but
It was interesting. It was
very, very good.
It was 3 hours full of information. It really was.
Good.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
awesome.
Now we got public comments on agenda items only.
I've got copies of the paperwork if anybody wants copies. Or I can make copies.
Paperwork for what, man?
What the handouts were
Oh.
of the meeting.
I would love copies if you can email them to me, whatever's easier for you.
Same here, thank you.
You want to print it?
Okay, number,
Email.
we're down
Whatever's easiest.
to number 12. Resolution to pay the bills.
Make the motion.
Mr. Bruno. Second.
A resolution authorizing the post office payment of certain claims, bills, and invoices to the town, whereas the town board has reviewed and audited the following claims, bills, and invoices for services rendered and goods provided to the town in November 2023. The town approved vouchers in November 2023, number 202301586, through and including number 202301571, abstract dated November 16, 2023, for the dollar amount totaling $255,108. Of that, $13,924 was wired, credit cards, and prepaid. $241,184 is remaining to be paid. And whereas the town board finds said claims, bills, and invoices to be acceptable in form of reasonable amount, now therefore be resolved, payment of the aforementioned claims, bills, and invoices is approved, and the supervisor being hereby is authorized to make such payment, be it further resolved, this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Mr. Barber.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Irwin.
Yes.
And Mr. Douglas.
Yes. Motion carried. Okay, number 13. Number 13, we've got it to adjourn to executive session by personnel.
I'll make it. I'll second it.
Okay, Mr. Barber.
Anything happening afterward?
No.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.